G'day folks, back for another video. Something a little bit different on this one. This is just some sniping footage of me sniping on a massive river in Victoria. Looks like it's a nice lovely warm day, but I can assure you that water is actually probably 0 or below 0 degrees Celsius. Got a nice big pile of gravels and boulders to the left of me here, which were proving to be a bit of a pain in the ass. And every time you go to wash the material to the left, it's just not going to work. You're washing gravels onto a pile of gravel and it just rolls back into the hole. So what is the solution? Instead of working from right to left in this scenario like I was, trying to work the gravel onto a pile of gravel, which didn't seem to be working at all. In hindsight, looking back, what you would want to do is you'd want to work that pile of gravels from on your left hand side there into the hole, onto the ground that you've already worked on the right. And you could actually work this massive crack and this massive granite intrusion in segments, and that'd be the best way to go about it, is to create a series of holes, and eventually you'd be able to sort of chip away and chop away at the whole crevice. What people don't realise is you only get limited amount of time in the water when the water is absolutely freezing, and you have to make the most of that time that you have in that water to accumulate as much gold in your snuffer bottle as possible. Another issue that I seem to be having on this day was when you got a beard and you got facial hair and you don't want to shave it, you have a hard time sealing that mask around your nose and your mustache area and around your top lip. And every time that the seal would break, I'd have to come up and readjust the mask. If anybody's got a solution for this, please drop a comment and share that solution with me, because I'm fed up with having to reseal my face mask every time I'm sniping for gold. Now, if your solution involves shaving the beard, don't worry about it, because I'm not shaving. I was just becoming super frustrated on this day because there were so many variables that were setting me back and hindering me, and I just seemed to keep making the same mistake over and over. Instead of making those adjustments in the water, I just kept doing the wrong thing, and in the end I paid the price. It's actually quite comical to look back and watch this footage and see how slow I was working and how little progress I was making on that pile of dirt to the left hand side. I was doing absolutely everything I could to get away from having to work through that pile of gravels that were holding good gold, by the way. And yeah, this is obviously why you want to look back on your footage, and it's good to film it because you can not only share it with other people, but you can learn as you go and sort of develop your own techniques and your own ways to become as efficient as possible, because there's only a certain amount of hours in the day. And you hear a lot of gold snipers actually talk about this. Tassie Boys actually says it, you know, especially in winter time, you may only have 3 to 4 hours in a day. And if a spot isn't incredibly rich and you really have to sort and sift through the gravels fast to be able to accumulate a good amount of gold in the snuffer bottle, your techniques and your methods really are going to play a part in your success, just like anything in life really. It doesn't matter what skill or craft it is, it's all about your technique and your method. As you can see, I'm standing up on the pile of gravels that's actually holding the gold on top of the bedrock, and you can see the monumental amount of material that has to be moved to actually get down to the pay layer. So I've pretty much just opened up a nice little flake here, exposed a nice little flake. Let's see if you can spot it. Just down there where that text is. And this is about the point in time where I think my body was starting to shut down, and I just wasn't working anywhere near as efficiently as what you should be when you're sniping for gold. I was overthinking things, didn't really have a direction in what I wanted to achieve, and it was just killing me. And also I need to sew a pocket onto the wetsuit and have the snuffer bottle near me at all times, because it's just a waste of time. You've got to find somewhere to sit your snuffer bottle. It's, you know, these are all seconds that turn into minutes over the day, and minutes turn to hours over time, don't they? So anyway, there was a good bit of gold in here. I just, you know, even moving these smaller boulders was just proven to be such a mission. You've got no strength in your arms or legs. The whole body just says no, get out of here, go back to camp, don't worry about the gold. And eventually that's what I did. I couldn't hack it, and I pretty much abandoned the whole mission and said to myself that I'll come back on a hot summer's day and try clear it out then. So the main takeaway of this video is, if you go in a sniper spot that's cold, it's deep, and there's a lot of material to move, just make sure you've got a bit of a plan of attack. Going forward, I think I'll have to follow my own advice to be able to get my numbers up and get as much gold in the snuffer and in the pan as possible. And yeah, it's all practice, isn't it? Over time you sort of work these things out and figure out your own mistakes, and you become better. So I don't think it would be very kind if I made you watch all that without showing you the gold out of that particular waterfall and crevice, or section of bedrock, granite intrusion, whatever you'd like to call it. But this is the gold that has come out of there so far. It's quite fine, but some of it has got some chunkiness to it. But most of it, for the most part, is actually quite fine. They're good flakes though, then it's not flour gold. There's definitely no flour gold sitting in there. The water runs a little bit too heavy and a little bit too quick for there to be any flour stuff sitting down there. So, but yeah, that was one of the good little chunks, one of the good little pickers that come out of there. I still believe that there's a lot. Can I get that to focus? Yeah, there we go. Still believe that there's a lot more good gold locked up in that section of river. For some reason the old timers didn't hit it. Well, actually, I know the reason. It's a hard spot to work. They didn't have the technology that we had. Basically, they didn't have a snorkel and a mask. Excuse me. But this was a really cool little piece. It's got mercury on it. I don't really want to touch it too much. And that was a little roly-poly piece that I found in there. I'm not sure how I managed to actually find that little piece. Would have thought it would have kept on rolling, but anyway. Awesome gold. There's maybe about, I think there's a little over 7 grams there now. Maybe 8.5. But all this is going to go into a crucifix that I'm having made. I have to pick up my ring in the next 2 weeks. That's going to be an awesome piece of jewelry to show you guys from some of the gold that I've got. But yeah, I've got a lot more content coming. A lot more sort of long feature documentary stuff that I am definitely going to get out there. I just thought with the amount of footage and stuff that I've got banked up, I'll make as much. That's a nice little piece. Little water worn, tiny little picker. But yeah, I thought with the footage that I've got banked up, I could make the most of it, put it out there and see if I can get a few more subscribers, and obviously it gives you a little bit more motivation to go to the next level and get the good cameras out and start making some awesome pieces of film for you guys. I really want to dig into the geology and the history of all these areas in Victoria and even around the country. So yeah, stay on board. I know the content isn't really as high quality as some of the other guys out there, but we'll get there. It just takes time. Takes a lot of time, these things. So eventually, once I've got a little bit more money up and the resources are there, I'll take the gold into the jeweler and he'll knock this one up fairly quickly for me. He's a very skilled artisan, this bloke. So yeah, stick around. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and you drop a comment. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.